What's up, everybody? It has been little over a year now when I did my last technical review of my Vanquish VQ55. And now a year later, I wanted to give you an owner's view of what I have been doing on this boat, where have I taken it, what's coming next, and what's going to happen with this boat. So come with me and let me show you my Vanquish VQ55. So first off, as you saw, we've taken it to so many different places, and we've been able to take it to so many different remote places because of these Mercury 600, 600 V12 engines. Been cruising it comfortably, always at 50 miles an hour. My wife is always super happy. She's sitting next to me. She doesn't even notice that we're going 50 miles an hour. So that kind of gives you an idea of how comfortable of a ride this boat has. One of the most used feature that we've had on this boat every single time we go out is we put out the carbon fiber shower over here. You plug it in over here, we come back from the water, and we've always rinsed ourselves off with it. So this is a must-have feature. We're super happy that we got it, and this has obviously, like I said, put to good use. Shore power, I love the fact that it always comes with me. By the way, I'm not going to give you a full in-depth tour. I've already done that before, but I kind of want to give you an idea of what you're going to be enjoying on this boat if you were to have one, or if you were to perhaps buy my boat, because it's now listed for sale by Vanquish Yacht, because we are getting a new one. So anyhow, you can make this one yours. But nevertheless, sunbed in the back, I've enjoyed that tremendously. And of course, one of the most important things is the aft swim platform, which kind of retracts into the boat, and they become stairs leading you into the water. So super easy coming back into the boat or going into the water, and I'll show you how that works. But this is a must-have thing that obviously we've been using it every time that whenever we go out. And of course, large storage right below this sunbed. This fits everything that we have inside, and it still feels like it's empty, like we haven't even gotten anything for the boat. But nevertheless, this is a great place to store everything at. Obviously, line storage, etc. I'm not going to come back to that. This place, absolutely incredible. The amount of ice this fits. I mean, right now we're using it actually for storage. So all the champagne coolers, etc. we're keeping inside, plus placemats, because we've had a lot of sit-down dinners on this boat. Put some pictures over here, what we have been doing and how we've been eating on this boat. And this icebox is absolutely unbelievable. It fits about, I want to say about 35 pounds of ice, which is amazing. So if you want to have a ton of drinks on board that you want to cool down, this is the place to cool them at. Obviously, cup holders. Love the fact that there's a trash bin underneath. I didn't think how much I would be using this trash bin, but it's so useful because whenever you sit down over here, you have something to toss away. Rather than standing up, you just open this one and toss things inside. This is something that I absolutely love on this boat. Obviously, the electric bimini all the way at the top. This is always being used every single time we're at the anchor. The barbecue, which we've used so many times, but I've always kept it super clean whenever we're finished with it. I like to make it look like it's never been used. But this is an incredible system and something that we find so useful that we most certainly will have it on the next boat. What I want to show you is what we've used with it is this. So this is for sale by Kenyon. So it's a Kenyon barbecue, yeah? And this lid, you just put over it. It's made, by the way, for this barbecue. So whenever you're doing your burgers or vegetables or whatever things you may want, you don't want the grease to fly all over the place. And this makes sure that it won't fly all over the place, and it keeps the whole thing super clean. So this is a must-have thing. Plus, it collapses in, and you can easily store it away right underneath, just like this. So this is what we've been doing every time we do barbecue. Alrighty, and of course, you have your sink over here. So this has come into great use, which we've been using. So great thing. Ice maker, which I've shown before. We'll put some B-roll over here. This one is, by the way, a Hoshisaki ice maker. It makes so much ice. We've never been able to use all the ice that it makes, but it's great to have so much of it on board. Also, fridges. So these are obviously what we use every single time we go out. So you have plenty of water that this fits in. So cool thing to have. And by the way, I love the fact that they have doors protecting the fridges themselves so that the metals of the fridge don't oxidize because they would be under an element. So this is fantastic. Carrying it on, misters. Whenever it's a hot day, I've always been using them. So turn this on, misting system. During a hot day when it's like 90 degrees, especially in the last summer, it was so hot in Miami. You can see, this is unbelievable. Couple of features that I find hyper useful, especially going to Bahamas. We pull up over here video. So these underwater cameras, again, I hope that there's some fish that pass by, but these are so cool because when you're cruising around in shallow waters and to see the fish coming by you as you're either in anchor or while you're cruising around, plus to see how shallow it is. So if you're kicking up maybe some sand or something, but the beauty of outboards, you can always trim them up. So this is something that I'm going to miss on this boat. Hint, the next one is not going to be outboard version, but otherwise I have been loving these engines. Before we got into the 600s, everybody said, oh my God, they have so many issues. And I was slightly terrified of getting into the 600s. But I must say, these engines, I've had no issues whatsoever, except one issue that one time one of the engines didn't turn on. And what happened was there was no fuel pressure basically, but there's a super easy way to do that. And the moment I kind of primed it, it started working instantly. So otherwise, absolutely amazing engines. Maybe the first patch had issues, but mine, I've been extremely happy with them. And again, the speed is something that is unbelievable. AC at the helm station, amazing. Absolutely incredible. Driving around during the hot summer days, this is something that I absolutely love. So, alrighty, so heading out from the helm station now, heading towards the bow. But before I do want to point out the side boarding doors. So every time we've gone to restaurant, these are so... I've used those probably 100 times. Every time we go to a restaurant, we use these doors. And they're at the perfect height always, so easy to step out from the boat. So close this back up. And FYI, this boat is over a year old, but it doesn't look like it has aged at all. So it ages like a fine wine. As we keep walking towards the bow, the table, okay, cool, fun story. We've slept on this boat one time. And we didn't sleep inside. So technically, we've never slept inside of this boat, but we slept here. So what we did was in Key West, we took it all the way down over there, about 5-hour drive. By the way, I own a company called Yachtway, so if you want to go check out the boat listing down below, and you can click any locations, and it'll show you how long it'll take to get there with this boat or with any other boat in that matter, and how much fuel does it consume. Nevertheless, when you put the table all the way down, you put cushions on top, we slept outside. It was the most incredible experience because it was pitch black outside. There were no city lights around us, and we were able to see the starry sky above us. It was one of the most incredible experiences we've done. So yes, we slept on the boat, not in the boat. Alrighty, as I head back to and show you the inside of the boat, one of the most used feature amongst all the other stuff that I've shown you is Starlink. 2 of those on the top, they're meshed together, and I get speeds anywhere from 250 to 350 megabytes per second download speed. So whatever you want to do, either Zoom calls or Google Meets or anything, I have been absolutely loving this. And there has never been a spot where the internet drops. And especially when you're going 50 miles an hour, you can still do your full Google Meets, Zoom meetings. Probably not as comfortable to do it at 50 miles an hour when you're sitting in the back over there, but nevertheless, you can do it at speeds. Alrighty, heading inside. Again, I'm not going to give you a full rundown, but first off, every time I come to a boat, I use this screen here. So whatever things need to be turned on or off, this is the control center of the boat. This is where I do it at. Inside galley, we've been using it more times than we expected because you can prepare food over here, you can do everything. I have sink, obviously we have some fridges over here. this up. So you have a wine fridge here, coffee maker obviously, and the bed, which again has never been used, plus a guest cabin, which never has been used either. But what has been used is the walk-in shower. And this one, we've taken shower here. It's so large that when I took a shower here, I was like, wow, I can really move around over here. So for that, it has been absolutely incredible. I've always wanted to put like a pump system over here for shampoos, etc. Never got around it. So whoever's going to buy this boat, I would suggest you to put like a shampoo holder or something over here, so you don't have to take things in and out, because you're going 50+ miles an hour. So before you start going full speed, you have to lock things down. It's like you in a fighter jet, you know, you have to make sure you're strapped in, because you don't really care what the weather is outside. Put some beer over here again, how it goes through basically anything, like a tank. So you want to make sure you secure the stuff that are loose items in the cabin below. Alrighty, well, the good news is that we're heading out from the government gut right now, and there's like, proper chop outside, whiteheads all over the place, going 30 miles an hour. Don't even feel it. Stabilizer is not even on right now. Just hammering it right through. You can see the whiteheads. That's one thing about this boat that I absolutely love. How it takes the chop like there's no tomorrow. Look at that. Not a drop of water on my windshield. Turn it over here. 32 miles an hour. I'm just turning into the massive waves. 35 miles an hour. You know what? I'm gonna miss this boat, that's for sure. Alrighty, so another cool feature that we use a lot, especially during the night cruising, is this one. Night vision camera by Psyonix. You can see a boat over here that is passing by, and you would barely see it without the lights. And this right here is super clear. So this is a great option. So if you're building a boat, or if you want to add it to a boat, Psyonix is something that I would go with. Alrighty, this was a quick owner's review of a Vanquish VQ55. As I mentioned before, this boat is now listed for sale by Vanquish Yachts on yachtway.com, exclusively only yachtway.com. So if you want, you can go check it out over there. It has 3D tours, videos, photos, etc., everything that you can possibly imagine. And if you would want to see this boat in person, you can contact Vanquish and they would be happy to give you a tour. Or if you want to have me give you a tour of my very own boat, I don't mind that as well. So just hit them up over there. And next episode is going to be from Holland, because we're moving up in size. We're going from 55 to 58. Every inch matters. And the only difference, or the main difference with the new one, is going to be that it's an inboard and it's an aluminum hull. And we're doing something totally crazy that has never been done before. So I'm looking forward to showing you that boat. But otherwise, Pegasus 4.0 out.